My name is Daniel Hargrove, and I used to think I had it all figured out. Married to the beautiful Marissa, living in our pristine suburban home, watching her build her wellness empire one Instagram post at a time. She had 40,000 followers hanging on her every word about organic smoothies and morning yoga routines. I should have known something was wrong when she stopped asking about my day. Building inspections aren't glamorous, but they pay the bills that fund her organic kale graveyard in our fridge. The woman bought more vegetables than a farmer's market, then let them rot while ordering takeout. Dan, we need to talk, Marissa said that Tuesday evening, not looking up from her phone. She was editing another post about finding your authentic self or some other wellness garbage. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Sure, babe. What's up? I settled into my recliner, still wearing my work boots. She hated when I did that. I've been thinking about us, about what I need in life. Her fingers kept tapping on the screen. I deserve someone who truly understands my vision, someone who can match my energy. That's when I noticed her phone buzzing with messages from someone named Ryan. The preview showed a shirtless selfie and the words, and, quote 4. My stomach dropped. 20 years of marriage, and she couldn't even look me in the eye while destroying it. Ryan Carter, your social media manager? I asked, keeping my voice steady. She finally looked up, her face flushing red. How did you? Your phone's been lighting up like a Christmas tree for the past 10 minutes. I stood up slowly. So this is how it ends? With you texting some gym rat while I'm sitting right here? Dan, you don't understand. Ryan gets me. He sees my potential. We have this connection that what? That makes it okay to cheat on your husband? The words came out sharper than I intended, but I was past caring about her feelings. She stood up, clutching her phone like a shield. I'm not apologizing for finding happiness. You've been holding me back for years with your small-town mentality and your boring job. My boring job pays for this house and your little wellness hobby. It's not a hobby. I'm building a brand, creating content that inspires thousands of people. But you wouldn't understand that because you lack vision. I walked to the window and stared out at our perfectly manicured lawn. Our neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, was walking her poodle, probably listening to every word through our thin walls. So what happens now? I asked. I think we should separate. I need space to explore this new chapter of my life. She was already typing on her phone again. Ryan thinks I should be authentic about my journey. My followers deserve honesty. Your followers. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. You're going to turn our marriage into content for your Instagram? It's called being real, Dan. Something you've never understood. That night, she packed 2 suitcases and left for Ryan's downtown loft. Before walking out, she turned back with that practiced influencer smile. Quote 20. After she left, I sat in the dark living room, listening to the house settle around me. 20 years of marriage, and she'd reduced it to a social media storyline. I pulled out my phone and started scrolling through her posts from the past few months, seeing them with new eyes. The photos of her solo coffee, dates where Ryan's reflection appeared in the window. The mysterious, quote to 22, that always seemed to happen at romantic restaurants. The sudden interest in couples yoga that she never invited me to join. My phone buzzed with a text from my old friend Victor. Saw Marissa's latest post. You okay, man? I opened Instagram and found her newest update. A photo of her and Ryan at some trendy restaurant, with the caption, Sometimes the universe puts exactly the right person in your path when you need them most. Grateful for new beginnings and authentic connections. New chapter. Authentic living. Blessed. The comments were already pouring in. Her followers eating up the drama, speculating about her marriage, calling Ryan goals, and praising her for following her heart. I screenshot the post and sent it to Victor with the message, "Now I am." The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Marissa's post had gone viral overnight, and apparently I was the villain in her story. My phone rang again. Victor. Quote, 28. His voice was tight with anger. Quote, 29. Quote, 30. I hung up and opened Instagram. There it was. Quote, 31. Marissa, perfectly lit in Ryan's minimalist apartment, tears streaming down her face as she painted me as an emotionally absent husband who crushed her spirit. "Dan's a good man," she said to the camera, "but we grew apart. He couldn't understand my vision or support my growth. When I met Ryan, I realized what I'd been missing. He sees me, really sees me, and encourages me to be my best self." The comments were brutal. Strangers calling me a loser, saying Marissa deserved better, praising her courage for leaving her toxic marriage. A few people defended me, but they were drowned out by the mob. My work phone started ringing. My boss, Jim, sounded uncomfortable. "Dan, I hate to ask this, but some clients are asking questions about your personal situation. Mrs. Henderson saw that video and wants a different inspector for her renovation." "She's firing me because my wife cheated?" "It's complicated. These wealthy clients, they don't want drama associated with their projects. Can you lay low for a few days?" I hung up and stared at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. 42 years old, graying at the temples, crow's feet from squinting at blueprints. Not Instagram-worthy, but honest. I'd worked every day for 20 years to build a life with Marissa, and she'd destroyed it for social media content. That evening, Victor showed up with beer and Chinese food. Quote, 38. He said, scrolling through the comments on Marissa's video. "Listen to this. Your husband looks like he shops at Walmart and drives a pickup truck. You deserve someone who matches your energy. These people don't even know you. Apparently, neither did my wife." Victor set down his phone and looked at me seriously. "What are you going to do?" "Nothing. What can I do? She's already won. She's got her followers, her new boyfriend, and she's made me the bad guy in her story. That's not the Dan I know. Remember when Tommy Morrison tried to humiliate you at the gym? You didn't just take it. This is different. This is public. Anything I do will just make it worse. Or," Victor said slowly, "it might make it better. You know things about Marissa that her followers don't. You know the real story." I thought about the credit card statements hidden in her desk drawer, the ones showing thousands spent on designer clothes and spa treatments while she preached about minimalism. The fake follower purchases she thought I didn't know about. The way she treated service workers when cameras weren't rolling. I'm not going to play her game. Then make your own rules. The next day, I got a call from Sandra Mitchell, my neighbor and one of Marissa's former friends. Quote, 49. Quote, 50. Quote, 51. My stomach tightened. Quote, 52. Quote, 53. The humiliation hit me like a physical blow. Those women had smiled at me at neighborhood barbecues, made small talk about the weather, all while knowing intimate details about my marriage that Marissa had shared like gossip. Quote, 54. After Sandra hung up, I sat in my kitchen, staring at the organic smoothie ingredients Marissa had abandoned. The rage was building now, hot and focused. She hadn't just left me, she'd humiliated me publicly and privately, turned my friends into an audience for my personal failures. My phone buzzed with a notification. Marissa had posted again. Quote, 55. The photo showed her and Ryan at the country club where we'd had our wedding reception. He was feeding her strawberries while she gazed at him adoringly. The same look she used to give me, now performed for the camera. That's when I decided Victor was right. It was time to stop playing defense. I opened my laptop and started typing. My response video was simple. No fancy lighting, no scripted tears, just me, sitting in our kitchen, telling the truth. Quote 56. I kept my voice calm and factual, like I was explaining a building code violation. Quote 57. I pulled out a folder of receipts and bank statements. Quote 58. The video was getting traction within hours. Comments started pouring in from people who'd suspected Marissa's perfect life was too good to be true. But the real explosion came when Jennifer Walsh decided she'd had enough. I can't stay quiet anymore, she posted in the neighborhood Facebook group. Marissa Hargrove has been trashing her husband for months while carrying on with Ryan Carter. She told our book club that Dan was inadequate and emotionally stunted. She laughed about how easy it was to fool her followers into thinking she was this perfect wife when she was cheating the whole time. Sandra Mitchell added her own comment. Marissa also borrowed $2,000 from me last year for a business emergency and never paid it back. But she could afford a weekend in Miami with Ryan last month. The tide was turning. Marissa's comment sections filled with people calling her out. Her follower count started dropping. Brands began distancing themselves from her. That's when she made her biggest mistake. Instead of laying low, Marissa doubled down. She posted a new video, this time with Ryan beside her, talking about toxic masculinity and how I was trying to control her narrative. Dan is showing his true colors now, she said, her voice shaking with anger. This is exactly the kind of manipulative behavior that drove me away. He's trying to destroy my reputation because he can't handle that I chose happiness over settling. Ryan nodded along like a bobblehead. Marissa deserves a man who celebrates her success, not one who tears her down out of jealousy. But they'd made a crucial error. In the background of their video, clearly visible on Ryan's coffee table, were the keys to my truck and my wallet. I'd been wondering where those had gone. The comments exploded. People started connecting dots, realizing that Marissa and Ryan had been in my house, going through my things, probably looking for ammunition to use against me. My phone rang. It was my lawyer, Mike Patterson. Quote 66. Quote 67. Quote 68. That evening, 2 police officers showed up at Ryan's apartment. The body cam footage, later leaked online, showed Marissa answering the door in Ryan's bathrobe, her face going white when they asked about my stolen property. Quote 69. She stammered. Quote 70. Quote 71. The footage of her trying to explain why she'd taken my belongings while claiming to be a victim went viral. The internet loves watching influencers get called out, and Marissa's carefully crafted image crumbled in real time. But the final blow came from an unexpected source, Ryan himself. Apparently, being internet famous wasn't as fun when you were the villain. Under pressure from his family and facing potential charges, Ryan posted his own confession video. I want to apologize to Dan Hargrove and everyone else affected by this situation. Marissa approached me about managing her social media, and things developed from there. I knew she was married, and I knew what we were doing was wrong. I got caught up in the attention and the drama, but I can see now how much damage we've caused. He looked directly into the camera, his usual cocky demeanor completely gone. Dan, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of this. Marissa told me your marriage was over, that you were separated, but I know now that wasn't true. I should have stayed out of it. Marissa's response was swift and vicious. She posted a series of stories calling Ryan a coward, claiming he was lying to save himself, revealing private details about their relationship that made her look desperate and vindictive. Her remaining followers watched in horror as she melted down in real time, posting and deleting increasingly unhinged rants about betrayal and fake people. By the end of the week, she'd lost 60% of her followers. The brands dropped her. The yoga studio where she taught asked her to take a break. Even her wellness circle friends distanced themselves from the drama. I was in my kitchen, finally cleaning out the rotted vegetables from the fridge, when she showed up at my door. She looked terrible. No makeup, unwashed hair, wearing sweatpants, and one of Ryan's oversized hoodies. The polished influencer facade was completely gone. Quote, 74, quote, 75, quote, 76, quote, 77. She started crying, but these weren't the performed tears from her videos. These were real, ugly, desperate sobs. I made a mistake, okay? I got caught up in the excitement of something new. But this isn't who I am. You know me better than anyone. I thought I did. But the woman I married wouldn't have humiliated me in front of the entire internet for social media content. I can fix this. We can fix this. I'll post a video apologizing, explaining that we're working things out. I looked at her standing on the porch of the home we'd shared for 15 years and felt nothing but pity. Marissa, it's over. You burned it all down for a few thousand likes and a guy who threw you under the bus the moment things got difficult. There's nothing left to fix. Please, Dan. I have nothing left. Ryan won't return my calls. I can't afford his apartment without the brand deals. I need to come home. This stopped being your home the day you decided our marriage was content for your followers. I closed the door and listened to her cry on my porch for 20 minutes before she finally left. The next morning, I found her final post. Taking a break from social media to focus on my mental health and personal growth. Thank you to everyone who supported me. I'm sorry to those I hurt along the way. She never posted again. 6 months later, I heard from Sandra that Marissa had moved back in with her parents in Ohio. Ryan had started dating a fitness influencer with twice as many followers. The internet had moved on to new drama. I kept my house, my job, and my dignity. Most importantly, I learned that sometimes the best revenge is simply letting people show the world who they really are.